Welcome back, everybody, to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I'm your host, Brett, back with another episode. We're here. It is the week of Thanksgiving. This will be coming out the day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Eve, I guess. And we're just here. We're going back with another episode. You know, we're here weekly, doing something. I really don't know what, but we're here. Gotcha. Okay, let's go. So it seemed like people enjoyed last week's episode. At this point, it is on almost 200 views. It's like 193 views, and I was kind of surprised. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to do that well. It was kind of crazy, and I guess you guys were kind of interested in the topic a little bit. I got a few more subscribers. The video itself's doing well. The watch time's doing decent. I'm kind of impressed with it. So I can't wait to keep rolling. I think definitely having a video helps. Having a video, you guys seeing me, it definitely helps and adds a certain layer to it. I'm here on a Sunday evening, drinking some blueberry Moscato. Eventually, I need to do a full-on drinking episode. 100%. I feel like I need to do that one with a guest. That one will be very interesting in itself, considering I don't necessarily drink a whole lot. But as we get started today, I'm going to go over some stuff, some little Thanksgiving fun facts, trivia quiz, considering this is technically our Thanksgiving episode. I have a decent amount planned for this Christmas. I'm probably going to have a Christmas theme. This will probably be the last episode we have the pumpkins. I got some ideas in the books for this winter. I will hopefully actually have guests on this time, this winter. I know I'll have my sister, probably a friend of mine, a few other people. We'll kind of see what we can do. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I just love the holiday season, and it's that time. I always love kicking it off with Thanksgiving, and then we get into it through December. So let's kind of go over a few of these interesting trivia Thanksgiving facts. What town canceled Thanksgiving because they couldn't make pumpkin pies? The answer is Colchester, Connecticut. A frigid bout of cold weather in the middle of October led Connecticut River freezing, so settlers couldn't get their usual liquid sugar shipped on time from across the pond. Thus, the townspeople decided to postpone the holiday for a week in 1705. It was a legendary Rose Mill powered... Wait, what? It was so legendary, Rose Mill Powers actually wrote a poem about it in July 1908 issue of Good Housekeeping. What city has the oldest Thanksgiving parade? Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Brothers Department Store Parade in 1920 had only 50 people, 15 cars, and a fireman dressed up as Santa Claus. The parade ended with Santa on a sled, signifying the arrival of the holiday season. Today it's much bigger and called the 6 ABC Dunkin' Donuts Thanksgiving Day Parade. Instead, it was the inspiration behind the Macy's Day Parade, which started in 1924. I like the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade, but I typically don't watch it. It was never a staple in my household. We typically have it on. Didn't necessarily pay attention to it. What did President Calvin Coolidge famously receive as a Thanksgiving gift? It was a live raccoon. In 1926, Vinnie Joyce of Veneta, Yuma, Mississippi, sent the 30th president of the United States a live raccoon to be served as Thanksgiving dinner. However, the president became so smitten with the furry animal that he pardoned it and adopted it as his pet. He named it Rebecca. Some of the shit some of the presidents have done. The Thanksgiving turkey pardon doesn't totally make sense either. Just eat it. It's fine. There's only one area in Australia that celebrates Thanksgiving, and that is Norfolk Island. The tradition started when American whaling ships would make frequent stops on the island during the 1800s. The tiny territory, home to fewer than 2,000 inhabitants, typically celebrates the American holiday with a meal that combines classic Thanksgiving foods like pumpkin pie and cornbread blends with Norfolk Island cuisine. May also celebrate by attending church services. How long was the first Thanksgiving? Hunker down for a bit of rich history of Thanksgiving. Today, Thanksgiving takes place over one dedicated day, maybe two if you count Black Friday history, but original pilgrims really went all out. In November 1621, the settlers' first corn harvest corn harvest proved so successful that Governor William Bradford reportedly invited the Plymouth colonists, Native American allies, to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Members of the this has been a long time. I remember part of this in elementary school. Wampanoag tribe, Wampanoag tribe came bearing food to share. They had so much bounty that revelers decided to extend the affair. They didn't say how long they extended it, but okay. What food did the colonists and Native Americans not have at Thanksgiving? I'm guessing mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, pumpkin pie, I guess that's probably it. Let's see. Oh, they didn't have turkey. I didn't see that one coming. While most of us enjoyed turkey as the centerpiece of our table, no one can say for sure whether it even was on the menu back in 1621. However, the original guests did indulge in other foods like lobster, seal, and swan. The Wampanoag also reportedly brought 5 deer to the celebration. If you also enjoy venison at your table, consider yourself perfectly aligned with long-standing tradition. I'll take that, and that makes a lot of sense. What president refused to declare Thanksgiving a holiday? The answer being Thomas Jefferson. Presidents originally had to declare Thanksgiving a holiday every year, up until Lincoln made it a national holiday during his tenure. However, Jefferson refused to recognize this event because he believed so firmly in the separation of church and state, since Thanksgiving involved prayer and reflection. He thought designating a national holiday would violate the First Amendment. He also thought it was better suited as a state holiday, not a federal one. Guess that kind of makes sense to an extent. Kind of wish we had more federal holidays, just a little more vacation time. That'd be all right. I would not complain, and I don't think many would. A Thanksgiving turkey mix-up inspired what popular meal trend? Answer being frozen TV dinners. In 1953, a Swanson employee accidentally ordered a colossal shipment of Thanksgiving turkeys, 260 tons to be exact. To deal with excess, salesman Gary Thomas took inspiration from the prepared foods served on airplanes. He came up with the idea of filling 5,000 aluminum trays with turkey, along with cornbread dressing, gravy, peas, and sweet potatoes to complete the offerings. 98-cent meals were a hit, especially with kids and increasingly busy households. That guy just became a billionaire. Ooh, this one's pretty interesting. How many turkeys do Americans prepare each Thanksgiving? Answer being 46 million. I honestly would have thought it would have been a little higher, but I guess everybody doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, depending on cultural heritage, and then not only that, possibly vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. Kind of makes sense, and you could always make something else. Thanksgiving without turkey would be like Christmas without a tree. and most American families wouldn't dream of foregoing the almighty bird. While not super popular the rest of the year, turkey is a huge hit for holidays, possibly because it can serve large family gatherings. On Christmas, an additional 22 million families host an encore with their Thanksgiving turkey recipes. What percentage of Americans actually eat turkey on Thanksgiving? Okay, my last statement might have been wrong when you think about it. 46 million turkeys. Depending on how big a turkey is, I'll feed quite a lot of people. So, what was I doing in my head? For some reason, I guess I thought you needed a turkey per person, and that's not. I'm stupid. Because the answer here is 88%. Yeah. Oh, I need to go back to school. Oh, God. If your family goes in the different direction of the big day, you're not alone. According to National Turkey Foundation, 88% chow down on Thanksgiving turkeys. The rest may be vegetarian or vegan, or just taking a stand against a protein that, let's face it, doesn't show up much the rest of the year for a reason. What are you trying to say about turkey? I love turkey. I think that's going to call it for all the Thanksgiving stuff. I don't want to do that forever. But why would someone have an issue with turkey? I eat a lot of turkey, honestly. I get some ground turkey, make some tacos, taco meat. Yeah. But I don't have many Thanksgiving traditions. I don't feel like my family has a lot of holiday traditions. There's like a few things we do semi-yearly, but nothing like crazy. I like Thanksgiving. It's fun. It allows me to binge eat like a motherfucker, like a true American. Hell yeah. If you're not gaining at least 6 pounds that day alone, just from all the food you ate, you're not doing it right. The holidays are the few times that you're allowed to let yourself go. Even though I'm gonna go to the gym on Thanksgiving Day, that doesn't mean shit. I'm still gonna eat like a bitch. And it will be amazing, and I might feel like shit the next day. But it's all part of the plan. Maybe. Not a lot's happened this week. Big news. Maybe. I have crossed the $500 mark in donations for my fundraiser in October. Considering my goal was $5,000, that might not seem super crazy, but my original goal was going to be $500. So I've at least passed it. I've surpassed it. That's at least what I wanted to do. I at least wanted to get over that number. I know that I'm still personally going to donate. I hope that there's a handful of people I know that are still going to donate. There's about, I think, almost 10 days left. Right? What's today? Yeah, exactly 10 days left for the fundraiser. So I'm hoping that I still can get some stuff in there and some donations in. But I'm glad it's gotten this far. I think raised enough money to serve 12 people, and that's something. So I'm just ecstatic that we made it this far and at least got to over $500. So that's really cool. If you guys are curious, I will throw this down in the bottom of this description. Not only that, why I'm here, instead of putting in a little clip, guys, remember to subscribe. We're working our way up. Today I'm at 39. By the end of the year, we could possibly have 50 subscribers. If we hit that, that would be stellar, and I would be very, very happy with that. If we can hit at least 50 by the end of the year, we're slowly progressing. I'll take every subscriber. I'll take every view. Every number counts, and I just think it'd be awesome if we did that. So I hope to keep providing, hopefully, interesting enough content. I know I'm not doing anything crazy. There's people out there doing ridiculous shit. Mr. Beast last week just gave away a $2.5 million jet. You do not see me doing that. I am sitting in a corner in a studio by myself, drinking wine on a Sunday night, talking to my phone, living by myself. I am not giving away a plane. So if you guys are here, I appreciate every single one of you. And we're going to keep going. I have ideas this winter. in December. The reason I say December in particular is when I know there's going to be people around. I'm going to have more time off. I'm going to be able to do some stuff and plan some stuff out a little bit, and maybe even mass prep some stuff. But on that note, I do want to let you guys know, I'm going to announce this now while I'm on the topic. I have created 2 new channels. I will pull them up right now as I talk. Brett, edit. Boom. I don't know what I'm doing. I have made a clips channel and a shorts channel for you guys. Barbells and Trails clips and Barbells and Trails shorts. I'm going to hopefully get it to the point where by the time you guys see this, I at least have a video on both of those channels. On Wednesday, I should have at least one, if not more. I think I'm going to try to put out shorts daily and upload something every day. So there's just clips, little shit from the podcast, just interesting stuff that I think would be funny or stuff like that. Post it on there. I'll probably post it on the Instagram as well and try doing stuff like that. And then I will take segments and clips from the podcast, and instead of putting them on the main channel, the main podcast channel like they have been recently, I'll put them on a separate channel because I feel like it's just not working the best with the algorithm and not necessarily working as well as I thought they would, because there's some videos I feel like are decent enough topics and stuff, and they're not necessarily super long, and then they just don't do well, and then somehow I have full episodes that end up getting 50 to 100 views, and I can't get a clip to get past 25. And I think part of it is the algorithm and just because of the channel and how stuff is. So I'm going to separate it. It was something I was planning on doing eventually anyways. So I was like, why not go ahead and do it now? So on that channel, I'm going to be taking like probably 8 to 12 minute segments, depending on what it is. Something that I feel like can be turned into more of a regular YouTube video. Clip it down, might be a little more heavily edited in some way or another, and do stuff with that. So if you guys want, I'll have the links down below. You can go ahead, go subscribe if you want to, check out whatever content's there, and there'll just be more stuff out in the universe for you guys to check out and kind of keep stuff a little separate. So you'll only be seeing me, at least for the moment, on this channel once a week, every Wednesday. Eventually, I will probably do 2 episodes a week, but that will be down the road. So at the moment, we'll just roll with what we got. But that's how it's going this week. I thought I could do a segment real quick. What could I be thankful for? You know, it's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be that mom. I want to make a list of things we could be grateful for today. I didn't think this through because I did not plan. Oh, I guess it shouldn't be. This is spontaneous. It's all spontaneous. All right. Number 1. I know she'll probably appreciate it. I'm thankful for my sister in particularly. Noah is my best friend for sure, but my sister is definitely there. She's probably number 1. She's the one that's been with me my entire life, and we've been through everything together, growing up in a divorced household. And compared to other people, it wasn't a terrible situation, but everybody has their own childhood situations, and we dealt with those as we went along. And she's always been there, and someone that I can talk to, and she can talk to me. And we've always, not always, but we have definitely had a great relationship, and I'm happy to have someone like that in my life. Noah's definitely right there as well, but it is a little different. Someone that you've grown up with and knows you and your family that you could talk to about, let alone your best friend. It's great to have those two in my life, and I just wish I got to see Noah more often. Living 2,000 miles away, it does make it challenging, and I typically only fly out at least once a year, and I don't think he'll be up here for the holidays, so that does kind of suck. But I'm grateful to have both of those people in my life in particular, let alone my broader family. What else? I guess I'm grateful for being able to have a roof over my head and rent the house I'm living in right now. And it's interesting to kind of live on my own and do this, and I enjoy it. I enjoy my free time. It wasn't necessarily a big change for me. Surprisingly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit, but it was really no big deal. I kind of like my alone time, and I just kind of do my own things. There are days, and I'll tell you right now, today was a day that I wish I would have really got after it a little more. I had quite a workout yesterday, and was up later than I expected because I lost track of time, and was a little groggy throughout the day. But I'm here, and I just kind of wish cut that out. At the moment, I guess I wish I had a roommate. That'd be a lot of fun. But I'm just grateful for the friends and family I have and the life I've been able to live so far. I mean, I didn't necessarily think I was going to end up here, but life could be a lot worse. And I understand that for sure. So it's like, hey, I'll take what I can get and hopefully build off of it. And we'll just keep rolling, and I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful to be here as a person, let alone do this with you guys. And some of you guys are probably watching this and like, bro, you're by yourself. You barely get any views. You have 38 subscribers or whatever it is. And it's like, you're a nobody. You're right. But this to me is also kind of an outlet for other people to also kind of just see an everyday kid, 21-year-old, and the stuff that I might go through or I've dealt with or certain things. And I think people sometimes should be more open because we're so constricted and closed off to people emotionally. And I've never been someone that can't open up necessarily. There's certain people I don't open up to, but that's just me. But for the most part, I've always been a very open person. And to have this and to hopefully encourage other people in my generation to be open to others and be open and emotional and do stuff every now and again and be out there and want to better yourself and be healthy and for yourself and your mind. And I mean, I'm glad to do that. So like I said, when I mean every view, every subscriber means a lot, it really does. I mean, considering probably for 5 months, and I know part of it was not having video. And I'm going to say that a lot, but I mean, the only views I was getting were probably family and myself. And so when I do see the numbers go up, and last month getting 1,000 subscribers, not quite 1,000 views in a month, that's awesome. Like that for me, that's kind of breathtaking in the sense of it's so different, and every bit of progress is something. And I know stuff takes time, and in certain aspects of my life, I think everybody struggles with stuff like that, and it's just something you got to do. Same with when I started working out. I mean, since high school, I've probably lost 40 pounds. And let alone at that point in time, I probably had half the amount of muscle I do now. And I'm not even necessarily a really big guy. But when I first worked out with Noah and first weightlifted, I mean, I probably wasn't doing a whole lot. Like I did do deadlift for a long time. I think at the time my squat was my best thing. Well, that kind of makes sense. And like when I was benching, I don't even know if I was doing 90 pounds at first. And I mean, you always got to start somewhere, especially in fitness. And I've had my up and downs through it where I've lost a lot of weight. I put some weight back on. I've maintained for a while. I've added more muscle. I've lost some more. I've done this and that. And it takes a long time, and it can be hard on you mentally because you don't think you're making progress sometimes. And sometimes having that delayed gratification is nice, because the stuff I do today is important. It is. It really is. But at the same time, I'm not going to see the results from it for at least 2 months, if not 3 or 4 or 5 or a year. It takes time, and you just got to slowly add up. And there's times that you get in your head and you just don't think you can fucking do it. And you just got to stay consistent, and you just got to keep pushing. And it takes time. I mean, at this point now, this week I've changed up my split. I'm trying to work out 7 days a week. I'll be honest, I did not go in today just because I slept in, for me, pretty late, and it kind of threw me off, and I could tell even this morning when I woke up, I did not feel correct. And you always got to start somewhere, and you're always trying to make changes and adjustments, and that's one reason why I just want anyone to work out, even if it's, and it's crazy to see someone like me preaching this, because it's like, I'm not a model, I'm not ripped, I'm not a fucking Instagram model or some shit, but I know the effects it has, both mentally and physically, and just the way it makes you feel. And the way I feel when I work out compared to when I don't, it's an amazing change, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people truly understand, because not a lot of people necessarily work out. And that's why it's like, I would at least encourage someone to work out 3 days a week, just something, just to do something. I typically was doing 5. I'm trying to do 7 now, just because I feel like on the days I work out, I do feel better. And so it's like, why not do it every day then? So it's something I'm trying to incorporate and change and do stuff. And it's something I think everyone needs, just for their own physical well-being and health, but let alone their mental well-being. And it's so, so necessary. And I think more people need it in their life, 100%. And I wish I had found it so much sooner, because in general, lifting has changed my life. And I also know, compared to some other people I see at the gym, but I see work it out, I'm like, there's times you compare yourself to others, and that's the worst thing to do, but you just can't help it sometimes. It just pops into your head. The best thing for you to do is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, or 2 days ago, or a week ago, not other people. Because it's like, for me, I see people in the gym that, even if they're close to my age sometimes, or I see stuff on Instagram, and they're doing shit fucking ridiculous compared to the stuff I do. But I also got to realize that, one, these motherfuckers are probably working out maybe 2 times a day, where I just don't, and I can't, or doing something else, or the thing they're going for is bodybuilding or powerlifting or this and that. So it's part of something they're really striving for, not necessarily just for physical health and mental well-being. It's something that they're physically pushing towards, extremely heavy. Let alone these motherfuckers have probably been working out 2-3 times as long as I have. When I say that, that's not even that long. I've only been lifting for a little over 3 years. Noah, if I compare myself to Noah, the motherfucker started lifting when he was like 11, 12. He's not much younger than me. He's like 6 months younger than me. So it's like, I didn't start till I was 19. There's people that started when they were 14. That's a big difference if they do it continuously. Or there's people in the gym that are 30, 35, 40 that I see in there, and I'm like, God damn, they've probably been working out for 20 fucking years. So it's like, it does get discouraging when you look at other people, but everyone starts somewhere, and you just got to keep that in mind. And it's like, fuck, eventually I might end up being those motherfuckers in the gym 20 years from now. And I'm going to have some teenage kid looking at me like, God damn, how the fuck do I get there? And it's like, I've been here for 20 years, buddy. Like, you gotta get used to it. If you want this, it's gonna take time. And so it is a grind, and I wish people did it more, because it's so therapeutic. I just wish sometimes people focused on themselves more. Not necessarily in a selfish way, but in the sense of taking care of themselves physically. Getting in a nice bath, cold showers, eating healthily, or at least the best you can sometimes. Working out, doing a sauna, it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing. When I say taking care of yourself, I don't think someone should sit on the couch all day. Although, to be honest, I did that today. But you do got to have your rest days. You got to give yourself a break every now and again. But at the same time, doing stuff that's discomforting in the long run will make you feel better. If you're not doing shit that's uncomfortable, you're not living life to its true potential. Because I think that's how I know I'm alive. I've barely put on a fucking jacket this winter. And when I say winter, I mean it is Thanksgiving. But Indiana, sometimes we don't get crazy winters. We had snow last weekend. Last weekend, I was outside a whole lot. I didn't wear a shirt once. When I go to work, when I'm at work, I've not put on a jacket. I've not put on a hoodie. I've not done shit. I've worn like a hoodie one time this year once it's gotten cold. And part of it is, one, I know I'm not going to fucking freeze to death. I'm right outside a building. I just shit along those lines where it's like, I'm fine. But also it kind of helps me feel alive. It's like when I'm out there and I am cold, it's like, it's not like I'm not fucking cold, but it just like, it's like, hey bitch, it's cold out here. You're feeling it. And it's like, yeah, I am. I'm here. Like this is the winter weather. This is me. I'm dealing with the cold. Like, it's natural. And it's like you need to kind of have that little discomfort that kind of sets you and makes you realize you're alive. I just saw a quote from South Park today. Didn't realize it was so deep, but it's something about how I don't watch South Park a lot, but it's something how one of the characters was sad and they asked him if he's sad because he got dumped or something. And he's like, well, yeah. But he's like, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy that I feel sad because it lets me know that I'm here and like I have that emotion and I'm alive and I'm in a part of life and I'm feeling things. Because it's like if you don't have your high or if you don't have your downs, you're not never gonna have your highs. And it's like we always go up and down. It just sucks depending on where you are, that eventually it's gonna go the other way. You just got to realize that. So if you're in a low, eventually it's going to go up. If you're in a high, you also got to realize you're not going to be there forever. So it's like things are going to change, and you got to ride that roller coaster of life for sure. I wanted to touch on a few things that have been in the news recently. I haven't paid attention to this, but I'm pretty sure Trump is back on Twitter, as far as I am aware. Let me see here. Yes, he is. Elon Musk reinstated Donald Trump on Twitter on January 8th, 2021. Twitter permanently suspended at Real Donald Trump due to risk of further incitement of violence. Musk had publicly considered reinstating Trump's account, but recently said the decision would be left to a not yet formed content moderation panel. Then on Friday, Musk tweeted a poll asking, reinstate former President Trump. 52% of the 15 million voters said yes. The next day, Musk reinstated Trump's account. Trump hasn't posted anything yet. We'll see how that goes. Great. Colorado Springs shooting. Gunman killed 5 people in Colorado Springs club late Saturday night. Just before midnight, the police received calls of gunshots at Club Q, an LGBT nightclub. Police say that the alleged gunman, identified as a local 22-year-old, fired at patrons with a long rifle. The attacker killed at least 5 and injured 25 and is in custody at the local hospital. He appears... Oops. I exited out on it. My bad. He was arrested last year for over a bomb threat. 2 clubgoers reportedly tackled the shooter, stopping the attack. Holy fuck. Oh, we get such a bad rap as Americans, and it pisses me off because of this. Like, I watch the Sidemen, and they do not like... well, they don't dislike America, but they, let's just say they don't have the best, I guess, view on America because of our guns, and they like are afraid to be out in public and do stuff and whatever. And to an extent I get that, but I've never lived by that mentality in a long time. I think I was more nervous in school than anything because it was kind of forced down your throat, and it was somewhere you were stuck in for 8 hours a day. And that was the most likely place for it to happen. Where it's like for me, when I'm out in public, I don't want to think about it. I don't try to. That never pops into my head because I also know I probably walk around a lot of people that are carrying guns. It's America. We have a lot of guns. We have more guns than we do people. Something I've grown up with. And to me, it's not necessarily that big of a deal, but there are some people that end up with guns that do terrible things. People kill people, guns do not kill people. I've been around guns my entire life, personally with my family. I have family that carry. It's not a threat. Some people think so. I don't think that gun laws should necessarily change. I think maybe getting automatic weapons should be more restricted at times or certain things, but I don't think that basically taking guns away are going to stop violence. Something will happen, and it always has. The first U.S. massacre in a school was not from a gun. It was a bomb, and it was someone that worked in the school, and it was an adult. It wasn't a kid. Someone made a bomb and blew up the school. So it's not always guns. Guns aren't the bad thing. It's people and mental health and a bunch of other issues. And something that goes along with that is this post that Ride the News has wrote about it. And I saw it, and I found it very interesting because in general it intrigued me to see what it was. And when I read everything, I was super surprised. So I'll read it and let you guys know what I think. This story usually ends up in tragedy. I didn't realize this was 2 years ago. Oops, or 3. May 17th, 2019 seemed like an ordinary day. I got a call to go grab a student and bring him to the counseling office, said Kean Lowe, a security guard at Park Rose High School in Portland, Oregon. As Lowe headed down the hallway, an 18-year-old student was entering the school in a black trench coat with a shotgun underneath. So, I'm walking towards that classroom, Lowe recalled, and a young man was standing right there at the door. First thing I see is him open his jacket and him pull a gun out of it. I just acted. I just went, he said. As students fled through the different doors, Lowe lunged for the student, ripping the shotgun from his hand. But instead of tackling him as guards are trained to do, Lowe wrapped him in a bear hug. The kid started to break down. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I just wanted to hurt myself. Nobody cares about me, the student told him. And I told him, I care about you. Lowe was a former football player who had been a standout wide receiver for the University of Oregon and later as an assistant coach in 2 NFL teams. He had moved to Portland after a sudden death of his childhood best friend. Seeking to help others, he applied to coach the Park Rose football team. At the time, the team was 23-game losing streak and regularly losing by 50 or 60-point margins. Lowe's quick reaction prevented anybody from getting hurt, and for his demonstration of extreme compassion, he was later awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Citizen honor. I mean, I guess this story is 3 years old, but I did not ever hear about it at the time, or if so, I don't recall. And seeing that post and reading about it, I was pretty blown away. And that story itself just goes to show that in general, that stuff can be very, very hard mentally on kids today, and especially young men, because it's just not, sadly, men aren't cared about like women are, and especially with guys not being able to show emotion or always have someone there, and especially in high school when it's so tribal and the groups you end up with, and if you have friends and the way you look and just how things work, it's an environment that causes more emotional suffering. And knowing that I've been there in that situation and kind of been an outcast. I get it. And so it is hard. And when people just blame it on certain things, it's not always true. In some cases, are the person themselves just a fucked up person? That's very possible. But it's not always that. And it is because sometimes people are truly hurting. And like that kid said, he doesn't know what to do, and he just didn't feel like anybody paid attention to him, and he was hurt, and it's sad. And one thing that I think in general that would cause probably less shootings is if things weren't as publicized in the news. If there wasn't so much attention on some of these things, I don't feel people would do it as much, because I know the main reason nowadays that people do these horrible things is for attention. It's not and to cause the most harm. It's not necessarily to go in and kill everyone they see, but just to get and try to fuck up as many people as possible, fuck up their families' lives, their lives, scare and harm people mentally on the news, because their name, their photo, their story is going to get everywhere. And it's fucked up. It's terrible. And it basically all started in the 1990s. Columbine was the first main one, and it's just kept going from there. I don't know how we solve it. I don't know where our next move is, but that is what it is at this point. And I just hope that men and young men can be more open and talk to people and get their emotions out, because having that ability could change so many people's lives. And I think schools should actually have therapy. I feel like therapy should be more common nowadays. I mean, I could probably use it. It'd be great. I probably need to. Who doesn't? I think everybody needs it. Just like I think everybody should work out. It's a physical therapy that cleanses you in so many ways that you don't realize. Other news, political news. Pelosi stepping down. I did get a refill. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi said that she will not seek re-election as the Democrat House leader. Pelosi, 82, has been the Democratic representative for Cali since 1987 for 35 years. She has served in the Democratic House leader since 2003 for 19 years and Speaker of the House from 2007 to 11 and 2019 to 2022. Republicans seized control of the House in the last week's election, and meaning that if she sought re-election, she could have become the minority leader. Republicans will not appoint a new speaker. Hakeem Jeffries is the front runner to replace the House minority leader. This is interesting to say the least. This woman's worth $100 million from doing some shady shit. Insider trading, you old woman. Get out of office. We don't want you there anyways. And I'm not saying that as necessarily a party thing. I'm just in general. I don't want her there. I don't think someone should be able to hold an office like that for 35 years, let alone being a House leader for 19 years. There should be limits. I don't want to see someone that's 82 in those positions necessarily. And especially when some people are not very open-minded and open to change as times change and society changes, and are just there for the money grab, for sure. She makes what? At least $100,000 a year, maybe more, probably more. But she's worth $100 million. How the fuck does that happen? Her husband has had better stock picks than Warren Buffett and many others. A little shady, Miss Pelosi. Maybe you finally got enough to retire. I fucking hope so. Get the hell out of there, please. I want some new people. Get some youngins in there. Change it up. Get the old out. Mix it around a little bit. So, finally. Not only that, but psychedelic caucus. Yes. Let's do it. House lawmakers have formed a bipartisan caucus to advocate for more research on psychedelics. Caucus is a group of politicians motivated by a common goal. Democratic California and a Republican Michigan representative co-founded this new caucus, Psychedelics Advancing Clinical Treatments, PACTs. Mission is to focus on exploring psychedelic research to alleviate the U.S. mental health crisis, something we just spoke of. It's a goal to promote research on psychedelics used for treatments in depression, PTSD, alcoholism, and more, and spread awareness of psychedelic therapy among politicians and their staffs. Thank God someone's doing something. Because, like I said, I don't think that any specific drug can fix anything. It has a lot to do with your own mental capacity. It has to do with a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I don't see psychedelics. I don't see natural substances like psilocybin, marijuana, certain things along those lines to be at one point as negatively causing as pharmaceutical drugs. And they're not necessarily as addictive, and they actually have I feel like a lot more positive benefits. I've not done any psychedelics. I have smoked weed a couple times, but not really that much, honestly. And it just makes more sense because the effect it can have on perspective shifting in someone's life and possibly having a positive effect on someone's outcome and look is absolutely amazing. I think part of life is changing your perspective. And if you're not changing your perspective, how are you changing and growing as a person? I've changed my perspective a fuck ton over the past 3 years since I've graduated high school. And if you haven't, I don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. So I think that something like this has been kind of put in the shadows by the U.S. government 50, 60 years ago when everything was put as a Schedule I drug. And it has basically not allowed studies to happen way before now, which they probably should have been, and possibly had some medicinal use that could have helped millions of Americans, let alone possibly millions around the world in general, if more studies were done to push towards certain outcomes. So it is what it is. If more studies are happening, I'm glad, because I think that there's other ways around it than just taking an anxiety medication or an antidepressant pill. SRIs are fucking terrible. Fucks with your hormones, fucks with your brain. It's not good. I get it. Some people deal with some shit, but you got to try other ways to fix it. If you're not trying other shit before taking pharmaceutical drugs, that's mistake number one. Try something else. Do cold plunges. Get in the sauna. Makes you feel amazing. It's great for your health. It's great for your mental health. Exercise. Do some intense cardio. You're not going to feel the same. I'll tell you that right now. If you experiment with other stuff, you won't feel the same. But instead, people are so used to convenience that they take a pill because it's so much easier for them, and they go ahead and say, fuck it. Or they drink their life away. This is my first drink in 3 weeks. I'm fine. But I've been around, I've lived with alcoholics. Extreme alcoholics. And it's fucked up. And people need to find other ways to cope and deal with their mental health besides substances that get them away from the reality that they're living. And that's where I think taking pharmaceutical drugs just to numb the pain isn't the way to go. So, I also noticed that obviously a lot of people found last week's episode quite fascinating. So did I. I hope you guys did check out the show a little bit because it was so cool with Graham Carlson and that topic in general. I'm fascinated by human history, as you guys could tell. I nerded out. I did not realize I was going to be talking about the topic as long as I did until after I was done. I was like, wait a second. I think that's like more than half of the episode. Shit. Oh well, here we are. But it was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I think you guys could tell that I was kind of getting into it a little bit. But it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to read his books and then talk about them here. And I think that will be a lot of fun. But before I end us today, because I think we're probably getting close to the point where I need to call it, I'm going to pull from Cards from Spark, because when I started today, I didn't totally know what I was going to talk about. So here we are. I've made it this far. I think it's been interesting enough. I mean, it's not the most crazy shit, but I can tell you right now, this winter, in the next month, one thing I'm going to do, we're going to do like a hot wing challenge. That's going to happen. I got some, there's more than that. I'm going to have a drinking episode eventually where I'm going to get plastered. It's probably going to be a longer episode than 45 to an hour. That one's probably going to be an hour and a half. It's probably going to have a guest. We're going to change it up. We're going to have some shit going on. But I thought I'd pull some cards and see what they sparked. Damn it. I don't even mean to make the pun. It just happened. And I actually ordered, they have a variety pack. I think I ordered those. I don't know when they're going to get here, but I'm curious to see what the variety packs have done and what they have in it. Man, I should have just shuffled these normally than what the fuck I'm doing now. What the hell is going on? Fuck. Help. I'm just going to pull this one. Describe your greatest moment of internal discomfort. Oh, God. Internal discomfort. Whew. Honestly, I don't know. Probably fucking prom. Yeah, maybe. I kind of stayed to myself. I don't know. School. School in general. Yeah, I'm gonna say high school because I can't pinpoint anything that just like stands out that I'm just like, that sucked. At least mentally, like I could say one of my first workouts with Noah was physically discomforting like shit, but internally, I don't know, because like I was just trying to think of anything, and I think in general it's just high school. After I've left high school, I feel like my life, I've had my moments, everybody does, but it's never been, I don't think, as bad at all. So I think just situations in high school. Describe the moment where you felt overwhelmingly loved. Oh, brother. This one, I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific moment necessarily, but my family, I'm the oldest out of the cousins on my mom's side. I'm one of the oldest on my dad's side. Most of my younger cousins seem to like me for some reason. I don't get it. Kids seem to love me. And I think it's just because I'm very nonchalant. I like having fun. I love being childish and having a good time myself. There are times when I'm like, I'm good, guys. I'm an adult now. But everybody gets there. So that happens. But at the same time, I do love spending time and trying to make a kid's day, because to me, kids are the most beautiful and wonderful thing. The most pure innocence in the world. And it's just so undescribable that it's like when you see just a kid enjoying themselves and having fun, it's just like that's what life is. That's like what's supposed to happen, and you want to see joy in a kid's life and have those times and memories and make someone else's life enjoyable. And so I think probably one of the times I felt overwhelmingly loved was when my cousins came up this year from Florida. I haven't seen them in 5-6 years. Some of their kids I've barely met. Like, I basically met them this year. I had seen them, been around them like once in their lives, in my life. And a few of them was an infant, and one wasn't born. But they were up here for like 2 weeks living outside my house in a camper because of a funeral and other family stuff. And they were up for like 2 weeks. And we had a lot of fun, a lot of pool days, dinners, this and that. And when they left, some of the kids had grown quite attached to being up here in general because it's so different from their home and being surrounded by family. But one of the little girls and a few of the little girls started crying because they were leaving, and one of them was kind of became my little best friend while she was up here, and we had a lot of fun. And I think she just didn't want. It was very sweet because she didn't want to address it. She hardly tried saying goodbye to me, and I think it was because she was about to start breaking down and crying. So she kind of ignored me at first when I was trying to tell her goodbye, and at one point it just kind of broke, and she started crying and hugged me, and it was very very sad but very sweet and cute. And they live about 1,500 miles away, and so it was very very sad. But I loved having them up, and I'm glad that they had such a great time, and that was a lot of fun. I should see them next year. I'll probably see them this winter. Hopefully, I'm planning on possibly going down to Florida. So I'd probably say that time, just because it was a lot of fun, and I could tell that they were quite attached, and I was gonna miss them probably just as much as they were gonna miss me, because it was a lot of fun to have a chaotic family of 8 living outside my house and seeing them and hanging out with them for 2 weeks. So it was pretty interesting to say the least there. What is something you've done that your future self will thank you for? Exercise. Going to the gym. Getting into fitness as much as I have. Going into the gym. Getting in, enjoying weightlifting. 100%. I'm glad that my younger self 2-3 years ago got into it with Noah to begin with. I'm glad that I got a gym membership when he left. I'm glad for Noah's help to push me into it. I'm glad that I'm still doing it, and I want to keep doing it because I'll be glad about it 10 years from now. This one. Is there someone who has had a big impact on your life and doesn't even know it? Ooh. Doesn't know it. Oh, bruh. Oh no. Big impact on my life, but doesn't know it. It might be my uncle, a little bit. It's kind of funny because he's not necessarily around super often. I'll see him this week, but I think he's probably had a larger impact on my life than he probably realizes it. And not only that, but we are very similar, and I don't think he realizes that either. Whether we have a lot of similarities. In certain ways, we're sort of black sheep of our family. I take a lot after him personality-wise, which is surprising and weird. Like, that's how crazy DNA is, because I wasn't necessarily around him a whole lot in my life to necessarily have his influence on me become why I became the way I am. But I take a lot from him, both just naturally and the stuff he's done and everything. It's quite fascinating, and he's done life and handled life differently, and I think he's had a larger impact on my life than I think he realizes, both negative and positive at certain points. But yeah, I think he's definitely had a larger impact than he's ever realized. Refill number 2. Okay, let's see. We'll do a few more cards. I didn't realize what time it was, honestly. What's this one? What is one lesson our... Oh. That doesn't work. I need another person. When was the last time you truly felt alive? Truly felt alive. I mean, there's certain times that it just, like... There's small moments where I'm like, this is life. I'm here. and like I'm very present. But I think it's gonna have to be like some of my trips out to Oregon, just because it's like so unnatural to me, or not unnatural, but it's like not native. Such an unnative place, unnative surroundings. Seeing the stuff I am, doing the stuff we did, going out on our own, climbing on these rocks, being up on the mountain, going places that we're not seeing other people, doing the dumb shit. Like, probably that. Just because I'm like so in the moment when I've been out to Oregon. But I don't know. There's been other times, but I feel like this year and stuff recently, I feel like those are the largest is when I've been out there. Just because it's like when I've been out there, I don't got shit to worry about or think about. I'm just in the moment. No work, no nothing. Get out of my head. And I'm just living. And I'm experiencing. So I think that's probably one reason why. What do I like to do to recharge my energy? Sleep. Caffeine. I should probably try meditating more. Sometimes a cold shower. That'll really that'll do you good. Or even a hot shower sometimes. What is something you appreciate by the way your parents raised you? Oh, I'm not a little fucking bitch. I whined as a kid, but not for the normal reasons. It was almost more emotional. I was an emotional child. I would cry. Not from pain, not from dumb shit, but for other stuff. Physically and emotionally frustrated. And my mom would never understand it. But when I had so much frustration and angst in my body and I had so much emotion, the only way I could relate it is probably the most natural and human way to let out that emotion is through tears. I haven't done that in a long time, but that was my escape. But I think my parents raised me well just by the kids I've been around in my life for the most part. There's some of them that are great kids, but just by seeing other kids and other families and stuff, me and my sister in comparison, nothing like it. And we were definitely raised very well, and I think it definitely helped us and turned us into pretty good people for the most part, for sure. So I'm glad the way I was raised because it's definitely helped me and has gotten me where I am today and has made me who I am. So a lot of it. How have your oh shit. Oh, this is what time is this? Oh god. Oh god. This one, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna do. I will read it out to you. I don't have enough time to go into this. I feel like this would be better possibly with my sister. But it's how has your religious views changed over the years? That's a deep topic. I've had that conversation with one of my coworkers. I'm going to make sure to put this at the bottom. Try remembering it's at the bottom. I'm not going to shuffle anymore. And next time when I pull that'll be a good one to go over. What cheers you up when you're feeling down? I don't know. Music. Yep, music. Music a lot. I love music. Music's amazing. Family. Music and family. Not necessarily my parents. But music and family. What's something you wish your parents said more when you were growing up? Oh gosh. Fuck me. Certain times probably that they were proud of me. Wish they said that more. Either that or I don't know that they were glad that I was their son. That's very out there, but Something along those lines. I feel like I was told that I was loved plenty, but it doesn't always sink in as your child. So I'd say something like that. Who's the last person you said I love you to? I've said it a lot the past day. Would have been my mom, I think, today. Said to my sister last night on the phone. Said it to my other family members yesterday when I saw them. I texted it to a friend of mine, and I think that was the first time I've ever told him that. And I just don't know. It felt right. We played some COD yesterday. Haven't talked in a long time. And he just said something. I was just like, thanks, man. Like, love you. Hope you have fun. And left it at that. And he was like, love you too, man. And me and Noah do that normally. I don't think I've ever done that with him. So I think that was probably the most impactful I love you recently. In your opinion, what's the best tool for resolving conflict? Sometimes time away from the situation, meditation, thought, conversations with other people about the topic to get other perspectives, because sometimes you're so stuck in one way and pissed off. But sometimes just talking it out can make you realize that maybe I was taking this too hard. But sometimes time, because there's times I'll be pissed off. I give it a day, 2, a week. It doesn't matter. Just need time. It'll go away. I don't hold grudges. And people that do, I'm sorry. What's something that scared you when you were a kid? We talked about this a few weeks ago. Death. Other than that, I wasn't scared of, but I hated bugs. Fuck mosquitoes. Motherfuckers. Okay, let's see. Oh, shit. What's your favorite family tradition? If none, name one you would like to start. My family doesn't have many traditions. I'm trying to think of any. There's nothing particular that really jumps out of my mind, because so much has changed over the past 20 years. There's nothing that's stuck and stayed the same with any family tradition on like what we eat, things we do at holidays. Like, it's always adapted and changed. I think for me, in general, something I would like if I had a family would be like a large Christmas dinner. Like a very like that's normal, so maybe not that, but like full Christmas movie marathon day with family, like doing stuff like that, Christmas parties, and like movie nights, get-togethers. Like I wish we had more family traditions in general, and I would love to do some when I have a family. Fuck. Do you like your job? Or what are you studying in school? Why or why not? I like my job because it's near home. I get paid pretty well. But getting kind of tired of it. Been there for a minute. It doesn't challenge me mentally. The company could do better to represent and appreciate their employees. Other than that, it's all right. I love the people I work with. It's a great company, but they got their issues. We'll see what happens over the next year. Oh, which emotions are the hardest for you to communicate? Oh, shit. Don't go in the fucking wine. I'm about to drop the card. Probably depends on who. Probably frustration and anger. Sometimes I can show love pretty easily, but sometimes frustration and anger with certain people. Me and Noah's had some spats before. He can contest if he watches this. Yeah, he knows. But it's a part of a relationship. And it's hard for me to bring up certain things sometimes because I don't want conflict. So that is probably my hardest emotion, is like frustration and anger. And bringing that up is really hard because honestly, it probably ends up in tears. And I'll probably cry. But that's probably the hardest one. If you couldn't feel fear for a day, what would you do? Skydive. I think that'd be the first one, the main one I could do locally. Skydive. Other than that, I don't know. Skydive. Using just one word, how would you describe your relationship with yourself? Oh shit. One word. Adaptive. It's changed a lot. It has its days, has its ups and downs. It's gotten better, but yet changed depending on situations. And I think I make those changes fairly well. So I'd say that. I don't know how long I've been going. I think too long. I think I said earlier in my head, 2 cards. I've done like 10. We're doing more. Name a healthy boundary you think you need to set. What? What kind of boundary? I don't like being made fun of. It depends on what it is. If it's in jest, it's fine. But like, you gotta have banter. But at the same time, because I was made fun of in school and by other people, it's not always the nicest thing. I don't know. I don't have many boundaries. Me and Noah feel each other up, so it's okay. I don't know. I don't know that one. What kind of surprises are you delighted by? I don't get surprised very often. I don't know. I'll take any. I don't know if there's anything in particular. I don't know what it means. Like a gift? Occasion? People? Maybe people. That's a nice surprise. Certain people. Like, yeah. Is there something you tend to take for granted? What could you do to change that? Maybe my work sometimes, or my living conditions. Sometimes you just got to be grateful for what you have. We did that earlier. But yeah, I feel like that's the best way to change it. I think I already did this one. Who's the person you appreciate most in this world? Probably my sister. We basically said that, I think. Earlier. Why are the cards upside down? Motherfucker. Why are these upside down? Did you grow up in a family that encouraged you to take risks? Explain. Okay, I'm going to make this the last card. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. God damn it. Oh, shit. Did my family encourage me to take risks? Maybe a little, not a lot. Just a little bit. Just depends on what it was about. I mean, like in school. No, I mean,
I don't know. I don't think I was encouraged to take that many risks, honestly. Like, there's some situations here and there, but I don't think it was encouragement. It was more like, you're going to do it, especially when it came to, like, 4-H stuff. But no, I don't think I was necessarily encouraged to take many risks. I wish I was more often, just because I wish I was more used to it sometimes. But, like, I don't know. I feel like I grew into it. I don't think I was great at it for a long time, but after I got out of school, like I said, a lot of stuff changed because I was in the real world. Even though the real world is basically high school on steroids, it's different because there's more people. It's not the same motherfuckers for years every day. Makes it better. But like, I feel like I started taking my own risks in the sense of, like, in high school there's certain stuff I don't think I would have done sometimes, but I think I started taking more and more as I got older, and I think that was me. That wasn't necessarily my parents in any way. Like, I was the one that didn't want to go to school. I was the one that chose to go to the parties for my first time and just kind of went for it. I was the one that said, hey, I'm going to Oregon to visit Noah. And it was the first time I've ever had a flight since I was eighth grade, my own flight. And I just said, fuck it, and went. And it wasn't nerve-wracking for me to fly across the country. Like, it was a chill day. I was like, cool, hopping on a flight. This is nice. Like, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't freaking out. I was like, I'm in Colorado. Cool. I'm in Denver Airport. This motherfucker is massive. This is cool. Like, it wasn't... I don't know. There's certain risks that I've taken or that I want to take that I'm like, oh, God, and I wish I was pushed to it more. And I think this was one of them. Having a YouTube channel at one point, having a camera, people seeing me. I didn't like posting pictures of myself in high school or videos, and I don't think I would have done it where I didn't have that encouragement of risks at the time, where I just kind of figured it out and adapted and changed. And this became, and honestly, because of fitness and because of how I grew with my mental health, I was able to grow out of it and eventually become more confident to do something like this. I have to admit, even when I first started it, I wanted something else. I didn't think I was going to do this and record this off of my phone. But I think also in the back of my mind, part of it was like, do I want people to see me? But in all reality, it was like, I got to the point where it's like, you know what? Yeah. Because it builds that connection. It makes it more interesting. It adds more for you guys. It brings something to the table that wasn't there previously. And it brings a vulnerability. If I get negative comments, it is what it is. I've had it before. Is it possibly going to affect me? 100%. But it's just life. People are also assholes on the internet. And you just got to get over it sometimes. But I think I've been rambling enough. I think the wine did help. Wasn't as crazy if I would have been drinking hard liquor, but that's to come another day. I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope you guys like these podcasts every now and again. I don't know how many of you actually watch to the end, but if anybody is still here, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you staying this long. And if you do, write it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I really do appreciate feedback. And I hope everyone that watches this video has an amazing Thanksgiving, an amazing holiday season to come, and is able to spend time with family and friends and just enjoy life to its fullest. I love all of you, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.